bar of reality and joy. Reality is joy. Not talking about the world of illusion, talking about the world that God made. Talking about the power of the holy presence that is my life right now, your life too. Come on into the room. I see Gwen Moore. Hey, Gwen. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love, let me love. Hey, Patricia. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Hey, Patricia, all the way from New York City. Come on in the room. Kimmy forever. Love, peace and love to the B-Hood. Yeah, yeah. Y'all know I'm sounding good tonight. I'm gonna be singing tonight. Love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, yes. I got Reece Whitaker joining me tonight. Hey, Joanne. All the way from North Carolina. Hey. All right. Now, Patricia, you in Oregon? Patricia Kingery? What kept me sad was a story in my head about what I never had. What, Reese? What I never said. Put her up on it. But I can sing a song.
I was angry. Helps me to be strong. Helps me to be free.
When I'm walking with you,
I'm walking with God.
when I'm talking with you, praying with you.
I'm praying with God.
If God is all there is, then everything is God. When I'm laughing with you,
I'm laughing with God.
when I'm singing with you, in the arms of my friend, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, what? Then she said, then everything is God. She said, then everything is God. Okay, let's see who we got. Because everything is God and God is showing up here. What's your name? What's your name? Except the presence of God. That's who you are when you're open. Sometimes, but sometimes the world has caught our attention and we're walking with our fears, right? We're walking with our pain. We're walking with our disappointment. We're walking with the violence of the world. We're walking with old hurts. But tonight, I'm inviting everybody to let it go. Let it go. Let it go for right now. You can pick it up after it's over, but you ain't gonna want it. It's like, oh, that's dirty underwear. We don't want to put them back on. We don't want that. It's like, hey, I took it off. Because there is a road, a journey we must take. It starts from within. It's just a thought away. I can sing a song it helps me to be strong. It helps me to be free. When I'm walking, I got to sing that verse again. I had the ghost of Safi on me. I got to do it again. Safi was all in my head. Safi, stop. I'm walking with God. I'm not the ghost of Safi. Pass. Safi is here. Okay, we got Maxine, Chef Lori, John Caesar, Digby, and we got Kathy Means, John Caesar, Misa. You need to call me, girl. Hey, Francine, 2 weeks away, 2 weeks in a row. Robin Green, yes. I'm gonna do it again. It goes like this. There is a road, a journey we must take. Starts from within. It's just the thought away. I can't sing a song. This flower's gain of me. It helps me to be strong, and it helps me to be free. And when I'm walking with you,
Walking with God.
when I'm talking with you,
Walking with God.
when I'm praying with you, I'm praying with God. If God is all there is, then everything is God. When I'm singing with Reece tonight, I'm singing with God. When I'm dialing in with everybody on the thread tonight, I'm dialing with God. In the arms of my friends, I'm in the arms of God. If God is all there is, then everything is God.
Yes. So good.
Taking a moment just to breathe into that. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So with great joy and thanksgiving, I welcome everybody into the room. Tonight, the chat, welcome on in here. And I'm going to call you, Misa. Yes, we need to talk about some things. We got Lisa Frankel, welcome into the room, Lisa. And Nina, okay, Nina. So Nina, are you back in Georgia or are you still in Kansas City? Okay, she was out there with the passing of her auntie, Auntie Juanita. So we're still holding Nina Williams, who lives in Atlanta, in prayer, and knowing that that Auntie Juanita flies free. You know, I want to thank God for the sound of auras. I've been sitting with the sound of auras, the new CD. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though some of you have heard it, but all of you should go listen to it because it's really that beautiful. And Rashid Lani did a great job of orchestrating those songs. He did a great job of orchestrating Angels of the Earth, Supreme Inspiration, We Let It Be. What's the last one? I think it's Oh Yeah Hey Ya. Oh Yeah Hey Ya. And he did a great job. And I use it for my early morning meditations. I use it for my late night meditations. And I use it for my midday meditations. And I also just put it in the house, you know, after I've cleaned the kitchen and just finished with everything. I just put the CD on as I'm burning my sage and, you know, just clearing the space. And the music is in the house and it sounds so good.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so good. It feels good.
Yeah. I've listened to it. I've been resting to it. It's like just allowing myself to relax my body and my mind listening to it. It's very, very peaceful.
Well, actually, Reece ain't supposed to be in the room yet, Sue. But Reece, just stay there. Just stay there. Stay there. This is my introduction to be with the people. But come on in, baby Reece. Ain't no point in waiting. You know, ain't no point in waiting. But I was making a point. I was making a point about a very powerful insight that I had this morning. And I want to share it with you because it might help, and it has everything to do with Aunt Juanita, Uncle George, and our loved ones that have made their transition. And Reese, you can weigh in on this too. But I want to introduce Reese. No, not yet, not yet. Okay, so, and what it looks like is that when our loved ones leave the body, they're one with God. Now, the concept of what is heaven, I was looking at something at an interview, and somebody was asking the host was asking this man, he says, well, what do you think heaven is? What is heaven? What do you think heaven is? And the person, they gave some interesting answers, but it was heaven to them, it's them, but there was some place, I don't know where it was, but it was like the ancestors, the angels, those who came before us, those who hold us high as we walk, those who walk in the invisible. Like what happens to me when it's time for me to go? What do we become, right? So that, to me, that's the answer to heaven. Like what do I become is what heaven is for me. It's like, what is that? How does heaven unfold for me? And you know what I got? What I got was that when a person passes, what's left is what people say about them. It's how they remember them. What's left is the air of them. The good, how they help somebody along the way, how they encourage somebody. Like, people are going to talk about them and go like, Aunt Juanita was really powerful. Uncle George, man, he could tell me so much. He shared his heart with me. But there's more than just the good that we can remember like that. What I got this morning, sitting in the stillness and the silence, was that they become the wind. They become like the wind, like the sun, like the plant sisters. But they are like, they're there. They're everywhere. Like everywhere I am. And when you're one with God, everywhere you are, everywhere you are. Let my soul surrender. Greater I shall be for what I came to do, what I came to see. Let my soul surrender. But it's not hard. It ain't way out there. It's everywhere present. So when we breathe in and take a deep breath, we connect with the essence of who we are. Before the concepts, before the books, before the beginning. And I thank you for listening to me go on and on about this deep insight I had this morning. And so now, when I look at the sun, I feel my uncle. I feel my mother. I feel my aunts and uncles. And one last thing I'm going to give you is because I have an altar with some of the people who've passed that were very dear to me. But I don't sit facing them. This morning, I sat and they were at my back. So I just turned my back and so that they were behind me. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like they were behind me. And I was looking at the world, feeling like they were walking behind me, supporting me, carrying me. And that's like the essence of God. And God is more than that. But man, that's a great way to start the day. And then the sun rises and you feel so at one with everything. So when those who we love have gone, I hope that you get to the place where after you've grieved and mourned their passing, that you can begin to see that they're here with you. But it looks like the wind, like the sun, like a breath of love. And so it is. Yeah. Life is so good. I'm just thankful. So I have a wonderful person that I want to bring into the room now. I'm bringing Miss Reece, and Reece is important. Reece is extraordinary. She is a therapist. She's a singer. She's a minister of music and a minister of the Holy Word as well. And I just want Reece to come into the room and tell us a little bit about herself. Now, where are you from, Reece?
I'm from like the Los Angeles, California. Been here, born and raised, but more specifically between San Fernando Valley. That's actually where I'm from. But I've lived in many places around LA County, Northridge, growing up. But I definitely represent Los Angeles through and through.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And tell us, like, well, that's the town you come from, right? Now, tell us a little bit about where you're going. Like, how did, like when you were coming up through school, you gave me some experiences. I mean, we don't have to go through the victim thing, but, there was a story that you told that you said, that you were singing, but you were singing for somebody else's voice. You were a very, very, now you're a great singer, and you've always been a great singer. You had a singing grandma.
Yes.
You got a singing grandma and a singing tribe.
Yes.
And a very intelligent tribe.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about your tribe. You told us about Northridge and all of that. Now tell us a little bit about your family.
Oh, well, my family, I'm so thankful for my family. On my dad's side, I have folks from New Orleans, Louisiana, as well as North Carolina, I believe Charlotte. Yep. And then on my mom's side, I know I have folks from Alabama as far as my grandparents, and I believe Texas, I believe. But yeah, I'm so thankful for all of them. Grandparents. My grandmother was a missionary, and she also, as you know, she sang. She was also part of a singing group, and I sadly don't know the name of her little singing group, but they pretty much traveled around LA County and into different states and just sang at different churches. And so it was so great to know that was who she was. She also was a child psychologist. And a lot of that I didn't know.
Wow.
Until,
and look at you, because Reece is a therapist. Now tell us the kind of therapy that you do. Like I'm from a family that we all needed therapy and never got it. But what we got, but really in our family, what we had a very strong love, and so we just kind of hung on to each other. Through the things that we had to face, we just hung on to each other and loved each other. And we had the arts, and we had school, and we had some time away from certain violent things that were occurring, and with people who just didn't have the skill to love, that's, sometimes that happens in families, that all of a sudden somebody comes in or somebody goes into a zone. I'm sure you see it a lot talking with people.
Right.
And we don't really have to. You don't have to put your business in the street.
Yeah.
You don't really have to do that. But you can. But let me know about how you counsel somebody who may have carried a pain from their youth, from something that was so hard, you
Yeah.
know, and that left a scar.
Yes. Well, I definitely not like you said, Mama Ricky, not only in just like who I support, but also very much, feeling that I can relate to that question personally.
Hmm.
I There are many ways as far as what they call as a clinical interventions, if you will, that you can apply in assisting people.
Hmm.
However, I personally utilize cognitive behavioral therapy,
Hmm.
and what that is a clinical intervention that allows the therapist to assist an individual
Hmm.
to process the connection between their thoughts, their feelings, and their
Hmm.
actions.
Hmm.
So, and understanding that our thoughts, can shape,
Hmm.
our entire reality.
Yeah.
And also, like getting into that conversation around like the subconscious and what's
Yeah.
held there. And as you
Hmm.
mentioned, when thinking about an individual who has a scar and or pain from their childhood, and
Hmm.
what that does within their development over time, especially when it's not addressed early on and or noticed.
Yes.
So what happens is, for example, I can imagine an individual, let's say that they witnessed their parents experiencing like maybe like verbal and maybe like physical abuse,
Hmm.
and the scar and how that shows can be many ways. Maybe that kid ran to their room, and
Hmm.
tried to distract themselves somehow,
Hmm.
or maybe they because it was loud or something, they might have created a particular coping mechanism of disassociating,
Hmm.
and just doing whatever they could to try and escape mentally from that experience.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so different situations when it comes down to traumas, especially
Hmm.
traumas. But what I ultimately do is assist people in reparenting themselves.
Hmm.
There's a lot of stuff, as you mentioned, we didn't have maybe like particular skills. A lot of us, I'm extremely thankful for what my family has been able to do in the absence of mental health like intervention.
Hmm.
And at the same time, I very much appreciate seeing skills around reparenting, um, which it includes a lot of things, but pretty much like it starts off with like forgiveness, and assisting an individual in forgiving their parents, for example, and and forgiving them for things that they didn't know, and recognizing that there might be some anger that someone might be holding, like toward their parents and or maybe other family members. Realizing what that child experience is and what that trigger was, and then recognizing and or assisting that person, connecting that to how they perceive life, as well as themselves, based off of what they went through, how has that experience shaped how they operate in life. Um, Pretty much assisting an individual connecting with their inner child through meditation, maybe through reclaiming some things that they didn't have access to. There are like different ways as far as how we can assist someone in getting in touch with their inner child, letting go of burdens.
Reese, you're smart. You're going down the list. You had me at forgiveness. You
Well,
had me at forgiveness.
stuff for the people. It's mental health.
Well, yeah, yeah, mental health. Man, I'm gonna need therapy after she finished. Just trying to remember what she said.
Oh well, I got skills I
No, no,
can send
no,
you.
you got skills. You got skills. No, you have skills and you have a method.
Right.
You have a method, but you also have something else.
Hmm.
You have an awareness of you got soul, so you can feel.
Hmm.
And uh, and I would imagine that if someone were speaking to you, that they would feel very embraced
Hmm.
by your loving way. And you're so young, Reese, to have so much on the ball. You know what I mean? It's like but a lot of young people do. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the age of brilliance. These
Right.
young y'all ain't playing out here.
We can
Y'all
listen.
ain't playing. Ain't no time to play.
I was gonna say
But
it's the movie Shalonda.
on the other hand, you better play.
We better enjoy what we're doing and or at least find the joy, and or at least allow what we're doing to be a part of our own healing and growth. It's I feel like I get to not only learn things that I might not have had access to, but
Yeah.
it's an honor to share it. It's an honor to share it.
So after a long day of hearing, because you work with a lot of different people, you hear you might listen to 8 or 9 people in one day, huh?
Oof. Yeah, like around 11, 12.
Wow.
Sometimes.
So
And
after it's done, and it's time, after it's done, and you've had some really, it's been intense,
yeah.
right? It's intense. How do you clear the field?
Goodness.
What is your process? How
My
do you,
process,
or your ritual, your ceremony, or you know?
I considering that I've been, driving a lot these days, I make sure to drive and see some nature, try to get by some water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's where the ancestors are, in the elements.
Yes, yes. And as you were saying it, especially driving toward like what is it, like the 5 North, and looking at the mountains, because of all the rain, it's so green. They're so green. And I've just been in awe, just taking that in. And I'm so thankful you said that the ancestors are in the elements, because I've been feeling Grandma Birdie in the air.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's there.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and I think because she is in the air and in the invisible, because I never could quite get how they are everywhere. But when I read the ancestors are in the elements, I can't remember where I read that. I don't know, where did I read that? But I want to say that I made it up, but I read it somewhere, and then it occurred to me in my meditation. It came. It was like, whew, that they were in the wind. They were in
Yes.
the air,
Yes.
but they're not there as a ghost that's bringing you down. They're there as the spirit of the living God lifting you up. It's like I can get to Jesus, right? Because God is so big. To have a Jesus makes God way more local, for a lot of people. Myself, because I am, I'm just an indigenous kid, man. I came here with it, and it was like, bam. Like I came with the joy that I'm thankful for,
Right.
and that I used to just kind of go like, well, say no, not I just. It's like, whew,
Yes.
it's what I get to bear. I get to bear this field of being the joy.
Yes.
And then when my friend Peggy Callahan produces a movie called Mission Joy, with Archbishop Desmond Tutu
Oh,
and His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I totally get what they're talking about. Because when you live in a stressful environment, and you're a little kid, right? So many times you're looking for the joy.
Yes.
You're looking for it. Because little kids, man, they want to live.
Right.
It's a sad thing to see a sad little kid that has no joy. But I'm here to tell you, when they get the right angel around them, that uses music, that uses color, that uses air, the sunshine, nature, water, just the heat of love, that embrace,
Yes.
the touch, human touch, it can mean so much. So here's to all of us in the thread tonight who are healing. You know what? Come on. We can let it go. You're big now. Like Robert D. McDonald's like, hey, he does this process where, you start, you're a little kid, and then at the end you're grown and they're down here now.
Right.
But when you're a little kid, they're God. They're so big because they're adults.
Right.
And they're your example. They're your, but it's like, hey, now the kids coming up now, they're a little bit more advanced, I think, than I was, but in that area, but maybe not. But right now I'm talking about the kids on this thread. I'm talking about little Deanna, little Robin Green, little Janet Rogers, little Edith. little Marcus, you know, little Rickie. That child is still within us. It's still there. You know, it's still there. And it can anchor in joy right now. It can anchor in joy. So let's anchor it. Let's let it play. Let's sing. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me. Well, I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, that you can start loving me, that you can start loving me, but you can start beating up on me, that you can start trying to kill me, that you can really, really get that you're beautiful too. You're just that beautiful, that you need to learn how to love yourself so much. I love myself so much that I can love you so much, that you can love you so much, and that you can start loving me. 'Cause I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven, and I'm choosing love today. That's what heaven is to me. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I choose compassion. I choose compassion today. Oh, I choose compassion today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I choose compassion today. And here's a shout out to friendships. Friendships, the people who can recognize for us what needs to be known. You know, that say, you know what? You can do it. I know you can. We're here with you. I'm standing with you. That's the kind of therapy that's helped me so much, so much. Somebody walking with me, going like, yeah, we can do it. You can do it. Oh yeah, I see that about you. Yeah. Yeah, come on, let's breathe together. Let's feel the love of God. What does that mean? Let's feel the love of God. Is to know that unequivocally God is carrying me. Can't go nowhere where God is not. God is all. God is everything, everything. And as good as I look, God look better than me. The Spirit says, I am more than this. I am more than this. I am more than this. Come to me. Okay, so check it out. There's been so much violence in this country. It didn't just start. It's been going on. It's been here ever since. Somebody said they discovered it. It existed already. I was already here, my little tribe of people. But you know what? People on this thread, people like us, there are lots of people like us who love, who are not out there killing people. Most of us don't even have a gun. We may have killed each other with a few words every now and then. we've learned to heal that and to be better together. So we're talking about resting in the love of God. Reece listens to people's problems. They have hard things they've gone through. Sometimes they've been raped, sometimes they've been beaten, they've been abandoned. Sometimes they don't have enough money. She's heard so many stories. And she says after all is said and done, she goes to anchor in nature. She anchors in music. Imagine the sound of the ocean. Come on in, Reece. Imagine the sound of it. I am more than this. I am more than this. The loss of a loved one, or a heart so broken, a newborn baby. I am more, or the pain of a body. I am more than this. People when they're happy, oh, people when they're sad. Oh, God is more than this. God is more than this. God is more than this. God is more, so much more. God is more than this. God is more than this. God is more than this. God is more. And the Spirit says, I am more than this. I am more than this. I am more than this. Come to me. Come to me. Anchor in God. Anchor in your holy books, your holy text, your Bible, your scriptures, your journal, your affirmations, your declarations of peace, your ways of being in the world, full of love and not hurting people, not hurting each other, standing for what's right, doing your best. Because I tell you, what your gift is to the world is the medicine for the world. You know, your gift to the world is medicine for what? This world. Because God is moving through your gifts. That's why God planted them in you. The joy that you have, you didn't make it. No, Lorna, you didn't make it. Yes, yes, yes. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Oh, no. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Come on, Reece, what? The world didn't give it. The world didn't take it away. Take it away. The world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. Spirit's calling you. Come, come. 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 So where are you going, Reece? Where are you going? We know where you're from and we know what you do.
Yeah.
So where? And I'm not going to ask a question like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I'm not doing that. That is not that kind of question.
Yeah.
It's you know, what's calling you forth these days?
Whew. what is calling me forth is dancing, is movement. I've been saying it forever.
Yeah. Y'all
You
see it?
know?
So tell us what that looks like.
Yeah. So for me, I haven't, I loved dancing growing up, and I didn't have a chance to really like get into it more so recently. However, just in incorporating movement as a healer, and we know that it can be, but truly encouraging that through my practice, in therapy, as also um, allow more of me to show up. I feel like movement, and also movement as community in like in collective ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I want to do. Supporting folks in being more comfortable, not only in their bodies, but just also them being affirmed. Just with whatever feels natural to them, and really, yeah, and making it a community thing. But
Uh-huh.
my forward is movement. It's dancing.
Man, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I'm going to start teaching Zumba again.
Oh,
Um,
you taught Zumba before?
yep, I'm Zumba
Oh, we
certified.
need to add that. And she's a Zumba specialist. She sings,
Yes.
she preaches, she heals the hearts of people with her therapies, her
Right.
cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes, yes,
And,
and
and
I what I love to do when I was at University of Washington, I went there for a quarter, but I
mhm,
had the opportunity to combine Zumba, for an hour alongside another hour, just providing space with folks owning and or reclaiming again their body. Some
mhm,
folks, like when thinking about restrictions and how
mhm,
bodies can be restricted in different ways,
mhm,
from religion to gender to race to
mhm,
like size and like things that are like perceived with that.
mhm,
So it was like an open circle discussion, and the things that came out in that space, just as
mhm,
people were acknowledging not only like the restriction, but
mhm,
then being encouraged, to show up in their honesty and then
mhm.
be affirmed at the same time. And then we spent time together moving, and I
Yeah.
want to do that more and more.
Eh,
Yeah, and encourage that.
and how long ago was it that you did that?
That was in 2018 when I
Okay,
did that workshop.
that's
Yeah,
great.
and it,
Well,
yeah.
for those of you who've never been to the Souls, don't mind me with this. I'm kind of cold in here. I mean, my heater got fixed though. Drum
Oh,
roll. You
yeah,
know,
put
who
them in
took
there.
my tambourine? Well, anyway, the heater got fixed, so but it's still a little chilly. I didn't turn the heat on, just keeping it off for a little while. But
Mhm,
uh, I used to do
mhm,
the better than nothing movement at the
mhm.
Soul Sisters retreat, which
Okay.
was so much fun. It's like we're moving and just having a great time
Yeah.
talking about it's just like it's fun time. It's fun
Yes.
time to move and talk about, because the deal is this. It's this. There's a plan
Yes.
by some very nefariously injected people that want you to be sad,
Hmm.
that want you to be depressed, that want you to be depleted of your joy,
Hmm.
that want you to believe that they can sell you peace so that you can buy everything that they got coming at you.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you that God, y'all know, you already know,
Yeah.
but I'm just accepting from myself
Yes.
right now that God is enough in me right now,
Mm.
you know,
Oh,
that I could get out and demonstrate all day.
yes. Hmm.
But you need to listen to that message by Reverend Lewis,
James Lewis.
Janet
Janet.
Lewis,
Okay.
Reverend Jackie Lewis. Oh, come on, Ricky. Reverend Jackie Lewis at the Middle Church
Okay.
when she spoke just a week ago. Not this, yeah, last Sunday. Yeah, not Sunday before last, 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And she was addressing the violence in this country and where it comes from and and just what it's all about, you
Mhm.
know. And so the deal is, it's like, it's in our Constitution. And so the way I roll around it is I do my best. I do my best in my community. I do my best to bring you as much of my genius as I can. And that's good enough for me. God say, that's all I put you there to do.
That's right.
To do your best. You don't have to be on American Idol. You know, you don't have to be in the Billboard Top 100. You don't have to be on The Voice. You know. And you bless everybody that goes that way. You know, those are certain kinds of farms that they raising people and doing what they do. You know, but the deal is, it's like, God didn't ask that of me. God asked me to do my best. So whatever you're doing, just do your best. John Caesar said, if I could only do my best. Hold on, I got to change microphones. Uh-oh. If I could only do my best and let God do the rest, I could pass every test come my way. If I could only do my best and trust that God would do the rest, I could pass every test come what may. Oh yeah, you put Reece back in, you know, because Reece is part of this right here. We're asked to bring our best. You know, it ain't as deep as they make it. Like, if we can love our families, love the community around us, love the earth around us, you know, love the people that we meet, that's the peace inside my heart. God and only God is moving. Peace inside my heart. God and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart. Love and only love is moving me. Peace inside my heart. Love and only love I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti. I can just see you dancing and bringing people into a greater awareness of who they are, Reece. You know, because movement can do it. Movement does a lot for us. You know, so when you're in a room and you're looking at television, okay, the state of the nation, okay. What did the news think about what he said? Okay. All right, what did that news person think about what they said? You know, it's like, what do you think about the sunshine? What do you think about this beautiful earth? What do you think about the choices you're making and how you have power? And Congress ain't got nothing to do right now in this moment where we are. We get to know something good about each other. We get to anchor in something that's really real, that's inside of us right now. It's the power and the presence and the love of God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for blessing everybody on this thread, blessing our families, blessing the ways that we are emerging from a long, interesting day. Let's just talk about the day. Let's don't talk about 400 years right now. Let's talk about this year. I'm not discounting. I know they call this Black History Month. I don't. I do not call it that. I call it Black Reparations Month. That's what I call it. because all the history in this country is really our history. You know, there's just so much to learn about each other. Yes. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Thank you, God, for all the different kinds of people that have come into my life. There were all kinds of colors of people. I thank all y'all for dialing so deep into me, you know, for walking with me, for supporting my work, for singing the songs, for being on the stage and shouting and showing the world an image of love. Yes, to catch a vision of love that includes everybody. Thank you for patience. When I was having a beautiful time with my friend Tony Neville, he said, I pray for patience to have, he said, I pray to have patience with the way she is impatient. He was talking about, you know, someone that he works with. He said, I pray to have patience for the way she's impatient. That's compassion. That's what compassion is.
Yes.
You know, it's like love when it's hard to love.
Yes.
You know, look, I'm a walking scripture. Go ahead, come on with it, Reece.
I was just gonna say what came to mind for me was extending grace. We're just extending, you know, I know that I have whatever I might be going through and someone might be saying something about me. So what does that mean for me to extend grace, you know, for that to be in God's hands, that maybe I'm not even understanding exactly entirely everything that I'm witnessing. So let me extend grace.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Extending grace. That's a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah, like that,
that's compassion, right? Like you said. Yes.
Yeah. Well, His Holiness the Dalai Lama said that in one of our sessions that I was with him. He said compassion is having understanding for those who don't have understanding. But I hadn't heard it like Tony Neville said it last night in his beautiful way. I know, you know, Tony Neville, man, he's solid gold. You know, I mean, you know what I found, everybody? I was going through papers, you know, like if you don't want to go through papers, bundle them up and put them to the side, you know, and then when you feel like it, just bring them out and then go through the papers, you know, but don't have them all over the place, you know, organize your stuff, you know, put it all over there, you know, so it's not making you feel bad because it's all cray-cray, you know. And then when at one good time, then you go in there and you go like, okay, that's what I did this morning. One of the things I did this morning. And so, this ain't working. But anyway, God is more than this. So anyway, I found a journal of mine, like not a journal, but a planner.
Oh, okay.
And in those days, they weren't all big like they are now. Not mine was. You know, I just had a little, like something that you get for free from the bank or something, you know. But it was like from 1977.
Wow.
So I'm looking at my journey and how I was writing down everything, you know, and you know, Jigs Chase. I mean, all the names of people, Buzzy Willis, all these names of people that I had interviews with or performances with, you know, concerts here, Beefsteak Charlie's, Roland Hanna, New York Jazz Quartet, blah, blah, blah. Got a meeting with George Moraz this morning. George Moraz is a great bass player and jazz bass player. I think I ain't gonna say where he's from. I think it's Yugoslavia. But anyway, he's from Israel. No, I don't know where he's from. But anyway, he can play the bass real, real good. And he's an amazing, I think he's from Yugoslavia. Marcus, where's George Moraz from? Save me, Marcus.
Oh,
Marcus knows things. But George Moraz, Mraz, It's an incredible. But anyway, George Mraz's name was in the planner, and all these people. And I'm looking at how I wrote down things and how much energy I had. But I still do. I'm just not going all out there. Now it's here.
Yes.
So my journey looks different.
Yeah.
My journey looks different, but write your stuff down
Yes.
inside of your day. And then you'll look back on it and go like, wow, I did that. Yeah. But if you don't, sometimes if you have a memory like me, you might forget. You might forget. So I write down that I'm going to stop 3 times a day to pray. That I'm going to stop for the noonday meditation.
Yes.
And I invite you guys to stop for the Sound of Aura's noonday meditation. We use the Sound of Aura's. Catch your aura with me. Catch your aura. What's your favorite aura, Reece?
You know what? I don't think I actually.
She ain't said that, did she? She didn't say that. She didn't say that, did she, Lona?
I did. Yes. What's yours?
Okay, I will let you. I will let you listen to mine.
Oh, you mean like from your
Yeah, the sound of auras.
The Sound of Auras.
Have you heard it yet?
Yes.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
I said what's the one you like?
Well, see, that's the thing, Mom. I've been listening to it to fall asleep. So I've been I start at the first one.
Okay, so you start with "We Let It Be." She liked the whole thing, We're gonna say she like it all,
Right.
Yeah. But I forgot where I was going with that. Well, anyway, you catch your auras, but I write it down so that I can remember what it is that I have to do, And then I find that a lot of things get done when you wake up in the morning. Does the universe reveal itself to you? Like with the things that you're supposed to do today?
Yes.
And if I write it down, then I have a template of what it is I need to accomplish, right? And then you can add the other things, Sadly today, I didn't do it. I wrote it down, but I did not do it. The day was a strange day. Energetically, it was like something was in the air, like something. Maybe it's the last of that whole moon or whatever, but what I know is that I did good because I got ready to do this.
Yes.
But it was like I was going to come on. It's like, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 50 years since my last confession, and these are my sins. I bought this ice cream that's dairy free, and I can't stop eating it. But I did stop. But it's just like the things that I'm doing. Because I felt out of sorts, But when I stop to be still, I can anchor.
Yes.
And today, it was so much going on, I did not stop. I stopped. I did my sunrise meditation, and this is my sunset time. So after I finish this, I'm going to go and have 9 or 10 minutes with the Sound of Auras.
Yes.
Maybe more, and just be still. And anchor. It's really good, for that. It's really good for that. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to say. I wanted to say Life Coach Ade has a new book out called, oh my God, it's time to go. A Life Coach Ade's new book is called Spiritual Appetizers for the Soul. Wow. And it's dedicated to those who are inspiring a revolution of love, self-acceptance, Reece, and the courage to dive deeper. So that's his book. And we talked about his book on Sunday. And I got several people that said, what was the name of that book? So I know his book is flying off the shelf. That's Beautiful Life Coach Ade. I wanted to say that. I wanted to say your donation letters, I'm still working on them. Elaine Robertson, if you can tell me at rickiebyars@gmail.com, what's your email address? That will help me a lot. And I can't talk about The Fix. It was a story we called The Fix that was written by Percival Everett. There's a book called Damned If I Do. But Percival Everett is an incredible writer who teaches at the USC School of at the USC, I think in writing. But I got his book, and called Damned If I Do. And there was a story in there called The Fix. And I think we're at our end, but can I just stay a little longer just to tell you about The Fix?
Yeah.
Because this is going to wrap it up beautifully, Reece. Because you talk to people all the time. And many of us on the thread have friends that we counsel, that we share our wisdom with, that look to us, you know, or sometimes we're looking to them, right? Well, the name of this story is The Fix. And the story starts out that this man is getting beat up real bad. And a person who has a sandwich shop comes and outside to see what's happening, but he brings his gun with him, and he comes and fires his gun, and the people who are beating him, they leave. So the guy who he was beating up, he takes into his sandwich shop because he's been beaten up pretty bad. And he says, well, can I take you home? And finds out the guy doesn't have a place to live. He doesn't have a place to live. So he says, well, you can stay here. I got a room in the back of the shop, and there's a cot there, and you can, there's a little sink, and you can blah, blah, blah. And so he says, well, thank you. So he leaves him, and he goes home. Tells his wife, the sandwich man, he goes and tells his wife what he did, and the wife's all mad because how can you leave somebody you don't know in the sandwich shop? You know, so he leaves the sandwich shop. He says, you got to go back to the shop because he might steal everything that we have. So the guy got to go back to the sandwich shop. So he goes back to the sandwich shop with his wife. And when he gets back to the sandwich shop, he goes into the shop, and the old refrigerator in the back has been fixed. Oh, wow. This guy fixed it. Wow. He was like, well, you fixed it? He said, yeah. And there was this other thing, this that was broken back here. I saw it was over in the corner, so I fixed it. So he fixes it. And he's like, well, you might want to kind of hang around a little bit. And the wife was like, well, I got a foot vibrator that needs fixing. So, so he says, well, bring it and let me see. Yeah. So he fixes her foot vibrator, that she soaks her feet in. And next thing you know, some little kids they come in there because it's a sandwich shop and they make sandwiches. So a little kid comes and his little remote ain't working with this little car antenna thing. And he was like, well, let me see if I can fix it. And he can fix it. So he fixes it. And the word gets out in the town that this guy is, tech savvy, that he can fix things. Now people are coming to order sandwiches, but they want him to fix their appliances. So they're bringing their blenders, and he can fix almost anything because he's got that kind of genius, right? So, folks are coming from near and far, and then they start telling their problems. It's like, well, my wife wants to leave me and blah, blah, blah. He was like, well, maybe if you do this and that and see what she says. And then he comes back and goes like, hey, she's not leaving. She loves me again. And we fixed it. So then the word gets out that he can counsel. And people are coming to be counseled, right? And then, the shop is flourishing, but throngs of people now are standing outside with their little supply. They got their little Vitamixes and their little blenders and all their little stuff, right? The story's almost, they got all their stuff. Yeah. But there's somebody that got hurt really bad. And the paramedics were trying to bring her back to life, and she's dead. And he was like, wait just a minute. And they cover her up, and he goes under the blanket, and next thing you know, life comes back into her body. So now this is another level. Right. That he is able to bring this woman back to life. So the word gets out that he's really, really special. And people are on his case all the time. They're coming from near and far. They're bringing their loved ones. They got people on crutches, and nobody wants him to rest. They're always asking, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And now they're getting mad because he's not helping them fast enough. And so now he's got to run because the throngs are impatient with the fact that he's not fixing them fast enough. And he runs and runs, and the sandwich man is with him. He walks with him to get him away from the throngs of people that are wanting to be fixed. And so he asks him, he says, where did you, he says, how can you fix everything? And he says, when I met you, you were getting beat up. You were getting beat up. Did it have something to do with this? He says, how can you fix everything? He says, yeah. He says, they wanted to know how I could fix everything. They wanted the formula. He says, but I don't have a formula. I was born with it.
Yeah.
It's the gift that I got. It's the gift that I got.
Yeah.
But the thing is that he could not fix them. Really. He could fix the surface of things.
Right.
But there's that thing that is never satisfied.
Yeah.
It's like folks always want more. And so he ends up, doing something to end that scenario. I won't tell you the whole story. That's all the story pretty much. But, but the thing is, it's like, I looked at that, it's like, there's some things, like George was like, just said only Jesus can fix. Only God can fix it. It's like, so we do our best.
Yes, we do.
And let God do the rest.
Yes, we do.
And stopping to be still
Yeah.
has helped me immensely. To remember that for all of you, for all of our children, our families, our grandchildren, those who are incarcerated, those whose families have been touched by gun violence from the police, from the military, from just people on the street who are violent because they picked up the violence.
Right.
That God is still here. Let us turn within and rest in God and say amen. God bless. Let our joy be so triumphant that we reign.